Originally, so there are 5 of us that were working on that application through the Living Learning Lab panel, and so there's a certain amount of spaces around campus that you can use, and the university presents that so you know which spaces are open. And we looked over at West Bank because there's not as much green space. It's pretty disconnected from St. Paul campus in terms of culture and what people think about and do and prefer to have on the landscape. And then it's also really close to Cedar Riverside community, so we wanted to kind of bridge that gap between Cedar Riverside and campus because it's really quite isolated and there's a really big barrier. There's a lot of kale, a lot of tomatoes, thanks to cornucopia. There are lettuce, spinach, sage, a variety of other herbs.
In the community garden, there are 2 different sections. We have the vegetable section and the pollinator section. I was heavily involved in the pollinator section. We decided to implement this because we wanted to attract the bees, the butterflies, the hummingbirds back to campus to help pollinate the vegetables that we were growing and just to bring biodiversity back. So we planted about 700 plugs. And the plugs are little baby plants. About 20% of them die, but you get a really good start and it's pretty cheap, so you can plant them quite densely. So we planted a lot of different types of milkweed. The milkweed brings in the butterflies. We had 3 different types of those. We have some wet spot areas, so we put in some swamp milkweed. That really helps infiltrate the water back into the ground. The pollinator section surrounds a storm sewer that goes directly to the Mississippi River. So we really wanted water infiltration to take place on the land, and so we put a lot of these deep-rooting perennial pollinators into the ground. So we added some aster, some black-eyed Susans, which are the yellow and black flowers, and then we put in blazing star liatris. It's the one that looks like it comes straight out of Dr. Seuss Whoville, and it's really tall and it's got the purple going all the way up, and when it's in full bloom in the middle of the summer, you've got all the bees that go right up the middle of it, and it really is fun to watch the different types of species that have come back.
Well, I think a lot of people are really disconnected within like a city setting, and so bringing like food into an urban setting is really important because I think people are very, very disconnected. I mean, you can walk to a grocery store and you can get pretty much like anything you want, and even in some places though it's hard to get to a grocery store. Like it's called like a food desert if it's too far away. And so I mean, basically if people see like how food is grown and like how much time it takes, and I think they would appreciate more of like what they're getting in grocery stores and also inspired to grow them themselves.